When you do this to a narcissist, they will eventually fall down and become your slave until death. Opening, high energy and commanding presence. Listen to me right now. If you've ever felt trapped, manipulated, or broken by someone who only takes, who only feeds off your energy while giving nothing back, I want you to understand this. You hold the power. You see, narcissists, they thrive on control. They need to feel superior. They demand your attention, your energy, your validation. But the moment you change the game, the moment you flip the script, they begin to crumble. And I'm going to show you how to do just that. I'm going to show you how to turn their power into your power. Because once you understand this, they will fall. They will lose, and you will rise. Starve them of their greatest need, your energy. A narcissist survives on one thing, your emotional energy. They want you to react. They want you to engage. They don't care if it's love, hate, frustration, just as long as they have you in their grasp. So here's the secret. Stop feeding them. Detach. Go cold. Become an emotional fortress. When they try to provoke you, smile. When they try to guilt trip you, remain unshaken. When they try to bait you, don't bite. Because the moment they realize they can no longer control your emotions, they will panic. They will crumble. Build an unshakable identity. A narcissist wins when you question yourself, when you doubt your worth, when they convince you that you need them. But let me tell you something, you don't. You are stronger than you know. And when you start living with that certainty, when you start walking with purpose, when you start acting like the unstoppable force that you are, they lose power over you. Because a narcissist cannot control someone who is fully in control of themselves. Become the source of their insecurity. Listen, a narcissist is not strong. They only pretend to be. Deep inside, they are fragile, insecure, and terrified of losing control. So how do you break them? By exposing their weakness, by making them feel what they've made you feel. Use silence, use confidence, use your success. Show them that their words, their games, their manipulations, none of it works on you anymore. Because once a narcissist realizes they can't shake you, they become the ones who are shaken. Flip the script, become the prize. A narcissist wants to believe they are the prize. They want you to chase, to beg, to prove your worth. But what happens when you stop chasing? What happens when you start acting like you are the prize? They lose their grip. They start seeking your validation. They start trying to win you over. They start serving you. That's when the power shifts. That's when they start to fall. Destroy their delusion with reality. Narcissists live in a fantasy where they are superior, where they are always right, where they are untouchable. But when you expose the truth, when you make them face their own failures, their own weaknesses, their own insignificance, their world begins to collapse. You don't argue with them. You don't waste time trying to convince them. You simply show them with your actions, your success, your unshakable presence, that they are not the gods they pretend to be. And that is what truly breaks them. Master the art of controlled chaos. Narcissists thrive in predictable environments where they control the narrative. So what happens when you introduce unpredictability? When you start setting boundaries they never expected? When you change the rules of engagement? They become unstable, they start second guessing, they lose control. And when they are the ones left confused, frustrated, and powerless, that's when you know you've won. Walk away and make them feel it. The ultimate power move, walk away. Nothing destroys a narcissist more than losing access to your energy. Nothing breaks them faster than realizing they no longer matter in your world. And when you walk away with confidence, with purpose, with an unshakable sense of self, they will feel it. They will feel the emptiness. They will feel the loss. And in that moment, they will be the ones trapped. They will be the ones suffering. And you will be free, closing high energy and unbreakable confidence. So let me ask you this. Are you ready? Are you ready to reclaim your power? Are you ready to flip the script? Are you ready to rise while they fall? Because when you do this, when you apply these principles, they will no longer have control. They will no longer be the master. They will become the servant. And you will walk away victorious. Starve them of your energy. A narcissist is like a parasite feeding on your emotional energy. They thrive on your reactions, whether it's anger, love, fear, or frustration. They don't care what kind of attention you give them as long as you give it. They need your energy to survive. But here's the truth. The moment you stop feeding them, they begin to starve. They become weak. They become desperate. Because without your energy, without your reactions, they start to lose their grip. And that's exactly what you want, because the moment they realize they can no longer get a rise out of you, they start to panic. They don't know how to function without your attention. They don't know how to manipulate a person who doesn't react. It's like playing tug of war. As long as you keep pulling, they keep pulling. But the second you drop the rope, they fall flat on their back. They lose control. They lose their power because they need your engagement to keep the game going. So stop playing, stop responding, stop giving them what they want. When they insult you, don't defend yourself. When they provoke you, don't take the bait. When they try to guilt trip you, don't give them the satisfaction of feeling like they've won. You are the one in control. You decide what deserves your energy and what doesn't. And when you make the decision to go cold, to go silent, to be completely indifferent, they won't know what to do. It's going to drive them crazy. They will try harder. They will test you. They will push your buttons even more. But stay strong. Stay unshaken. Because the more you refuse to engage, the weaker they become. Eventually, they will get frustrated. They will feel powerless. They will start to doubt themselves because their biggest fear is losing control. And without your energy, they have nothing to hold on to. You are training them. You are breaking their cycle. You are teaching them that their manipulative tactics no longer work on you. And the more consistent you are, the faster they will break. This is how you win, not by fighting, not by arguing, not by trying to prove yourself, but by refusing to participate in their game. They can't win if you don't play. And when they finally realize that they've lost control, that's when they start to fall. That's when they start to weaken. That's when they become desperate to get back what they once had. They will try to come back, try to win you over, try to regain their power. But if you stay strong, if you keep your energy to yourself, they will collapse under the weight of their own emptiness. Because without you, they are nothing. Without your energy, they fade into insignificance. And that is the one thing they fear the most. Build an unshakable identity. A narcissist wins by making you question yourself. They plant seeds of doubt in your mind. They make you wonder if you're good enough, smart enough, worthy enough. They try to break you down so they can control you. But here's the truth. The stronger your identity, the weaker their power. When you know who you are, when you own your worth, when you become so grounded in yourself that no one can shake you, a narcissist has no way in. They can try to manipulate you, but it won't work. They can try to belittle you, but it won't stick. Because you're no longer looking to them for validation. You're no longer seeking their approval. You are standing in your power, fully aware of who you are. This is where everything shifts, because the moment you stop doubting yourself, you stop being their victim. You stop being their puppet. You stop being the easy target they once saw you as. And this drives them insane. They don't know how to handle someone who doesn't need them. They don't know how to manipulate someone who is already whole. Their entire strategy falls apart when you become unshakable. So how do you do this? You start by reminding yourself every single day who you are. You start by speaking life into yourself. You start by rejecting every lie they've tried to make you believe. You are not weak, you are not broken, you are not dependent on them. You are powerful, you are capable, you are more than enough, exactly as you are. You don't need their approval, you don't need their validation. You don't need them to tell you who you are, because you already know. And when you walk through life with that kind of certainty, they won't know what to do with you. They will try to tear you down, but it won't work. They will try to shake you, but you'll stand even taller because you've done the work. You've built yourself up so high that no one can bring you down. And that is when the game changes. That is when they realize they no longer have control over you. That is when they start to fall. Because a narcissist needs a weak target. They need someone who is unsure, insecure, dependent. But when you become unshakable, they lose their power. They become the ones who feel small. They become the ones who feel unworthy. They become the ones who fall apart. Because without control, without dominance, they have nothing. And the best part, you didn't have to fight. You didn't have to argue. You didn't have to prove anything to them. You just had to become so strong, so confident, so solid in who you are that they had no choice but to collapse under their own insecurity. This is how you win, not by tearing them down, but by building yourself up so high that they can never reach you again. Become the source of their insecurity. A narcissist operates on one core illusion, that they are untouchable. They believe they are smarter, stronger, better than everyone else. They create a false world where they hold all the power and they expect you to live inside it. But what happens when you start shaking that foundation? What happens when you expose their cracks, their fears, their deep insecurities? Their world starts to collapse. Because here's the truth, narcissists are not strong. They only pretend to be. They wear a mask of confidence, but underneath they are deeply insecure, terrified of being exposed. They hide behind manipulation because they are too weak to face reality. They need to feel superior because deep down they feel small. And when you understand this, when you see through the illusion, you gain the power to turn the tables. The key is subtlety. You don't need to attack them directly. You don't need to engage in arguments or debates. You simply start living in a way that highlights their weaknesses. Be successful, be confident, be unshaken. When they try to bring you down, rise even higher. When they try to control you, show them that you are beyond their reach. Nothing breaks a narcissist faster than realizing they no longer have power over you. They thrive on making you feel insecure. But what happens when the energy shifts, when they start feeling like the weak one, when they start questioning themselves, that's when they start to crumble. Because they can't handle being in a position of weakness, they can't handle being exposed, they can't handle feeling like they are losing control. It's like turning a mirror toward them. When they look at you and see someone who is thriving, someone who is unbothered, someone who is immune to their games, they are forced to confront their own inadequacy. And it eats them alive. They start to second guess themselves. They start to question their worth. They start to feel the same self-doubt they once projected onto you. They will be the ones losing sleep at night. They will be the ones questioning their own value. They will be the ones left feeling weak and helpless. Because the truth is, they were never as strong as they pretended to be. And when you stop believing their lies, when you stop feeding their illusion, their entire world begins to collapse. And you walk away stronger, freer, untouchable. But flip the script, become the prize. A narcissist wants you to believe that they are the prize, that you need them, that your worth is determined by their approval. But let me tell you something. They are nothing without you. They are nothing without your energy, your attention, your validation. You were never the one chasing them. They were feeding off of you. So what happens when you flip the script? When you become the prize, when you start acting like you are the one who decides who is worthy of your time and energy. You stop responding to their texts immediately. You stop giving them endless attention. You stop reacting to their mind games. Instead, you start focusing on yourself, your goals, your success, your happiness. And suddenly they are the ones feeling uncertain. They are the ones wondering where they stand with you. They are the ones trying to win you over. They panic, they become desperate, they try to regain control by love bombing you, showering you with compliments, making big promises. They will do anything to get you back under their spell. But don't fall for it. Stay in your power. Keep showing them that you are the one who decides who is worthy of your time and energy. Because the more you act like the prize, the more they will bend over backward trying to keep you. And eventually they will become the one who is chasing. They will become the one seeking your approval. They will become the one who feels small, insignificant, and powerless. Because the moment you recognize your own worth, the moment you stop seeking their validation and start standing in your own confidence, you become the most powerful force in their world, and they will never be able to control you again. To destroy their delusion with reality. But what happens when reality starts to break through, When the cracks in their illusion become impossible to ignore, their world begins to collapse. You don't need to argue with them. You don't need to convince them that they are wrong. You simply need to live in truth. Because truth is their greatest enemy. It is the one thing they cannot control, the one thing they cannot twist to fit their narrative. And when you refuse to play along with their lies, they have no choice but to face reality. Stop engaging in their false narratives. Stop playing along with their manipulation. Stop pretending that their version of reality is the truth. When they tell you that you need them, laugh. When they try to make you feel small, stand even taller. They will try to gaslight you, try to make you doubt yourself, try to convince you that you are the crazy one. But when you know the truth, when you refuse to question your own reality, they lose all power. And when their fantasy starts to fall apart, they will fall with it. They will scramble to rebuild it. They will try to manipulate you back into their illusion. But once you see through it, there is no going back. You start making moves without them. You start achieving things they never expected. You start showing them without saying a word that they were never the powerful one. Because the real power, it was always in your hands. And once they realize that they can no longer control the story, that their lies no longer work, that their version of reality has been shattered, they will break under the weight of the truth. And you walk away untouchable, unshaken, and completely free. Master the art of silence. Let them destroy themselves. They use your reactions as fuel, whether it's anger, frustration, sadness. It doesn't matter. As long as they can get an emotional response from you, they feel powerful, they feel in control. But what happens when you stop reacting? What happens when you give them nothing, when you become a wall of silence, a void where their manipulation disappears into nothingness? They start to self-destruct. Silence is your greatest weapon. It is the one thing they cannot fight, cannot manipulate, cannot control. When you refuse to respond, you take away their power. At first, they will escalate. They will try harder. They will throw insults, create chaos, push every button they know you have, but do not give in. Stand in silence. Watch them unravel. Because without your reactions, without your energy, they start to panic. They feel invisible. They feel powerless. And a narcissist who feels powerless is a narcissist who starts to fall. They will try everything, playing the victim, love bombing, even apologizing just to get a reaction. But you stay silent. You stay untouchable. You refuse to give them what they crave. Because their biggest fear is being ignored. Their greatest weakness is being irrelevant. And when you master the art of silence, you make them feel exactly what they fear the most. They crumble, they lash out, they spiral into their own chaos. And all the while, you remain steady, calm, unshaken, because you have mastered the one thing they cannot handle, control over yourself. And when they realize they can no longer control you, they lose control over themselves. And you walk away free, stronger than ever, no longer a player in their twisted game. Turn their own tactics against them, make them your servant. A narcissist is a master manipulator. They play mind games, twist the truth, and use every psychological trick in the book to control you. But what happens when you flip the script, when you start using their own tactics against them, when you make them dance to your tune instead of the other way around? They become trapped in their own game. Because here's the thing, narcissists are predictable. They run the same patterns over and over. They manipulate, they gaslight, they guilt trip, they use people. But they never expect someone to turn it back on them. And when you do, they don't know how to handle it. Start setting impossible expectations for them, just like they do to you. Act like nothing they do is ever good enough. Keep them constantly on edge, questioning themselves, wondering if they are meeting your standards. Be hot and cold. Give them attention, then pull away. Praise them, then act indifferent. Make them crave your validation the way they once made you crave theirs. Make them work for you. Make them prove themselves to you. Make them feel like they need to earn their place in your life. Because the moment they start seeking your approval, you have them in your grip. They will bend over backward trying to please you. They will try to win you over. They will become desperate for the validation they once took from you. And this is when they truly fall. because for the first time, they are the ones feeling powerless. They are the ones being controlled. They are the ones stuck in a cycle of trying to win over someone who remains just out of reach. This is how you break them. This is how you turn the tables. This is how you make them fall to their knees, desperate for your approval, willing to do anything to regain the power they once thought they had. And by the time they realize what's happening, it's already too late. They have become a prisoner of their own tactics. And you are free, in control, untouchable. This is how you win. This is how you rise. This is how you turn a narcissist into nothing more than a servant to your power. And the best part, you don't even need to lift a finger. The final fall of the narcissist, this is it. This is the moment where everything shifts, where the tables turn, where the narcissist who once thought they had control over you begins to crumble under the weight of their own illusions. Because you are no longer the same person they once manipulated. You are no longer the easy target they fed on. You have evolved. You have risen. You have stepped into a power so unshakable, so untouchable, that they can no longer reach you. They thought they could break you. They thought they could keep you trapped in their web of lies, make you question yourself, make you feel small. But instead, you became the force they never saw coming. You starved them of your energy. You stopped reacting. You stripped them of their illusions. You made them question their own worth. You turned the game back on them. And in doing so, you forced them into the one position they fear the most, complete and utter powerlessness. Now they are the ones seeking validation. They are the ones feeling insecure. They are the ones desperate for attention, for control, for the dominance they once had over you. But that door, it's closed, locked, sealed forever. And you walk away victorious. You walk away whole. You walk away stronger than you ever thought possible. Because this was never just about them. This was always about you, about reclaiming your power, your worth, your life. The narcissist will fall. They will spiral. They will drown in the emptiness they tried to push onto you. But you will rise. You will thrive. You will never be controlled again. Because the moment you decided to break free, the moment you decided to own your power, the moment you decided that no one would ever manipulate you again, that was the moment you won. And now you are unstoppable.